What are the natural features which make a township handsome? A river with its waterfalls and meadows, a lake, a hill, a cliff or individual rocks, a forest and ancient trees standing singly. Such things are beautiful. They have a high use which dollars and cents never represent. If the inhabitants of a town were wise, they would seek to preserve these things, though at a considerable expense, for such things educate far more than any hired teachers or preachers, or any at present recognized system of school education. Henry David Thoreau, Journal 3, January 1861. Here in La Crosse, Wisconsin, we have a proud history of land conservation, started by visionaries like the Hickson and Losey families. In 1909, a group of La Crosse citizens banded together to buy Grandad Bluff and Hickson Forest, which was donated to the city of La Crosse to protect it from being quarried away and to allow the public to enjoy its scenic beauty and to use for outdoor recreation.
What that small group of people decided was, back in 1911, was that these Blufflands, that it was worth saving. That was kind of an iconic identity for La Crosse, was Grandad Bluff, and it was worth saving. It was, those people stepped forward.
There were a lot of visionary people, a lot of people who made their wealth either in trade or in the lumber industry, which gave back to the community. And by giving back to the community, I mean that they gave resources. They either gave land or they had purchased areas around the city, either at our waterfront or around our bluffs. And they gave us as a community land. And actually what they were doing is giving future generations land. And by giving future generations, they were giving us, I think, the first step of an overall process of conservation around the city of La Crosse.
But years after Grandad Bluff and Hickson Forest were protected, many La Crosse residents remained concerned about the loss of scenic beauty in the area as a result of blufftop development. Newspaper articles in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s debated the issue of how to protect the community's signature landscape feature, the 8-mile stretch of bluffs above La Crosse.
I think that if you're looking at some of the reasons why people come here, and some of the reasons why I think a lot of people live here, including myself, is because of the scenic beauty and the opportunities that we have. Certainly with our towering bluffs and Grandad's Bluff, you can see the flag flying over the city at any time, as well as being able to enjoy some of the attributes, the physical attributes. It attracts people, and those people are really what our biggest asset is the population here. And if you look at the population of the city of La Crosse, the population really lives here not only because of the opportunities that we create for jobs, but they live here because of the bluffs, the Mississippi River, so that it really makes it truly God's country in the Coulee region in and around the city of La Crosse. So I'm very proud to be mayor of the city, and certainly as mayor and as my history here of being a lifelong resident of the city, I think sometimes we take it for granted of the scenic beauty that we have here, which means that we have a commitment to protect our bluffland, because that's really one of the reasons why people live here, and we feel very strongly that we need to continue to and be committed to protecting those lands to ensure that future generations have the same scenic beauty, the same opportunities that we have had in the past as well as today, to ensure that those areas are protected long into the future.
La Crosse is really the hub of western Wisconsin, a lot of southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, within a 50 to 75 mile radius. La Crosse is the biggest city. We have a beautiful downtown, a historic downtown that adds to the vibrancy of the Coulee region. We have, for 15 or more years, been a Tree City USA. Just the environment here, I think, lends itself as to why we're a National Main Street Award winning community. We make a lot of top 10 lists. We're now, by at least one magazine, one of the most environmentally desirable communities to live in. The scenic beauty of La Crosse and the economy go hand in hand. Sometimes they get played off against each other, but I think more and more people are thinking it's not an either-or situation, that you can have a great quality of life, you can have a cared for natural environment, that it is an economic driver. I think we pride ourselves on living in a beautiful area and protecting what we have here, not just for us, but for future generations.
One of the reasons I was one of the co-founders, or founding members of the Mississippi Valley Conservancy, is a lot of us were concerned about blufftop development, among others, the fact that there's a lot of sprawl, and we felt that some of the unique, very special features of this region were being put at risk.
Since 2001, the City of La Crosse has partnered with Mississippi Valley Conservancy in a model of conservation collaboration designed to protect our beautiful bluffs. The partnership resulted in a formal program referred to as the La Crosse Bluffland Protection Program.
Well, it was really a follow-up on the La Crosse River Conservancy project. I mean, where we first learned and heard about the Mississippi Valley Conservancy and partnering with a nonprofit and other local governments was this 1,000-acre project out by the interstate and the state bike trail, where we all put in lands that we had and created the Crosse Conservancy project. And we said, can we apply that same thinking to the bluffs? The bluffs are just as important as the La Crosse River Marsh, just as important of all the attributes of the upper Mississippi River.
I think it really was started with the state of Wisconsin coming up with stewardship dollars, matching dollars, if you will, to set aside public lands. So there was some vision at the state level, which basically started the process of working as a group with Mississippi Valley Conservancy to work on setting aside some of these lands that surrounded the city of La Crosse. And working through MVC, Mississippi Valley Conservancy, as well as leveraging those dollars that the city provides to MVC with state dollars. And it's our hope that we basically expand that to include all the lands that are around the city of La Crosse, so that when you come to the city in the future, 100 years from now, 150 years from now, you won't see development on our bluffland around the city.